We welcome you into Tarble Arena once again here today for this Saturday doubleheader. Chris LoBosco here alongside me. I got Eric Elger, and down on the sidelines we have Brea Lassek, as we are so happy you are here with us today for this vital and important CCIW matchup between the Carthage College Firebirds and the Millikin Big Blue. 13-8 record for the Big Blue. For the Firebirds, a 15-6 record, 9-3 in conference standings, has them tied at the top with Illinois Wesleyan. Every game down the stretch here is always important, but especially when you're talking about maybe hosting the entire thing if you can for the CCIW, having all those home games or not.
Yeah, exactly, and a team like Millikin here, they're hanging on to that playoff berth, so you know they're going to be motivated to try to get a victory here and see if they can get into that tournament, because something we've already seen with this Millikin team is that they're 5-7 below 500 in conference, but they've got some talent and they have some stars in their team, and at any night this Millikin team can beat anybody, and Carthage is going to have to play a really good game here to stay out on top.
Something they did the last time these two teams played, a 77-74 win it was for the Millikin Big Blue, so some revenge being looked for here for the men's team. As you can see, they're ranked pretty well, even though they're just barely in. They're still a pretty good team here, especially when you talk about their three-point percentage, second in the CCIW.
Yeah, there is a team, players like Toman and Strouder can really light it up from behind the arc, but I think a big contrast here in this game is the Big Blue, you see 8th in the CCIW in opponent three-point percentage at 35%. Carthage on the other side, one of the best in the nation in limiting three-pointers, so it'll be interesting to see it. Can Carthage take advantage of those three-point looks and, again, lean on their strength defensively is limiting those, as there you see it, 27.3%, first in the conference. So something Carthage has really leaned on this season is not just being offensively really versatile, but they are a great defense. As you see there, second in the CCIW in opponent points per game.
A good scoring team as well. And to talk about some of those scores for both teams, let's go down to our sideline reporter and Brea Lassek to give us our players to watch.
A big performance against North Park on Wednesday. 28 points. He was the only Big Blue player that was in double digits, and he's had 16 of those performances this year to make him 9th in the CCIW in scoring. On the other end, it's Ryan Johnson, and he was the hero on Wednesday night here in Tarble Arena against North Central, the buzzer beater to give the Firebirds the win. And he not only had the heroics on Wednesday night, but he also had 21 points. That was his third performance this year with 20-plus points. He's always a factor on offense and also crashing the boards. He's second in the CCIW in rebounds.
Thank you so much, Brea. Appreciate your work here that we're going to have you do today on that sideline. As you know, Nate Strouder and Ryan Johnson, two players for sure that Ryan Johnson always just seems to be sort of an X factor when it comes to this Firebirds team. He kind of does a little bit of everything.
I mean, really is that the offense flows through Ryan Johnson a lot. If it's, you know, they get it into the paint in the free throw line extended area, and they look for him to distribute from the middle of the floor. And what a lot of teams have to do is throw double teams at Ryan Johnson. So something that he has got better through his career is recognizing what the defense is thrown at him, and he's been able to find open players. And someone like Riley Brooks has benefited multiple times this season with the attention Ryan Johnson gets. And we know Riley Brooks, one of the best three-point shooters in the conference, coming into tonight, nearly 40% from behind the arc. So look for Ryan Johnson to kind of continue to run the offense through him. And also don't forget about his brother, A.J. Johnson, has been really hot of late shooting the ball, and has been someone that the Firebirds always can rely on for a bucket when they need it.
Now, the last time these two teams played, A.J. Johnson actually only had 8 points, so they're going to need more from him if they want to get a win this time. Again, only lost by 3, but one of the key differences, rebounding. 43-25, they were out-rebounded in that game, something that they can't let happen again if they are going to beat Millikin here tonight. We're going to take a step aside as they are about ready here to announce the starting lineups, and then we'll come back with opening tip-off.
Millikin University Big Blue and your Carthage College Firebirds. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Big Blue. At forward, a 6'7" senior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 2, Tion Spates. At guard, a 6'2" senior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 3, Nate Strotter. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Olney, Illinois, number 4, Ian Winkler. At guard, a 6'4" junior from Mackinac, Illinois, number 7, Lane Tolman. And at forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Troy, Illinois, number 8, McGrady Noyes. The head coach of the Big Blue is Kramer Soderberg. Coach Soderberg is assisted by Max Snyder, Brad Soderberg, Andrew Cuffrin, and Grant Baker. All right, Firebirds fans, make some noise, it's showtime!
I wondered what was wrong with me. Friends are false.
First was savage, more my mood, that's what it was. 2015, we was running around, beating us up in the club. I know she around for the money, but act like she loyal, I don't for the love. I'm so rich, get bored, might wake up, buy me a car just cuz. It's hard cause she spent the 5, my BB cost me a dub. All my got BBLs, all my bush. I ain't with the rap beef Draco, for that spot, all my ops get touched. We ain't never ran off on no bar, but still we hopping our cut.
And now the starting lineup for your Carthage College Firebirds. At guard, a 6'4" senior from the Prairie School and hailing from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 5, Antoine Nesbitt. At forward, a 6'7" junior from Oswego East High School in Oswego, Illinois, number 10, Ryan Johnson. At guard, a 6'5" junior from Ripon High School in Ripon, Wisconsin, number 11, Riley Brooks. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Oswego East High School in Oswego, Illinois, number 15, A.J. Johnson. And at guard, a 6'3" senior from Wakanda High School in Wakanda, Illinois, number 21, Griffin Dawn. The head coach of the Firebirds is Steve Shirakovic. Coach Shirakovic is assisted by Tyler Pierce, Josh Washburn, Brad Emmer, Noah Howard, and Quincy French.
Just about time for opening tip-off here of game number 2 of this doubleheader between the visiting Millikin Big Blue and the home Carthage College Firebirds, as we get ready to see if the Firebirds can continue their winning ways in the CCIW, trying to stay even at the top with Illinois Wesleyan. Chris LoBosco here alongside me, Eric Elger, as we get ready to see how this game will transpire. As you heard the starting lineups here for your Firebirds, pretty standard lineup for them. And Antoine Nesbitt getting the start today. Sometimes it'll be A.J. Williams. It kind of depends on what they want to do for that.
Yeah, it's kind of that.
Spot.
Yeah, that 5th spot where it's going to Antoine Nesbitt, really the one that Coach Yurkovic plays with. But I mean, it really doesn't matter if you're coming off the bench or starting. I mean, someone like Schlesinger, you'll see a lot of, and of course the senior A.J. Williams as well off the bench.
As Strotter passing that one over to the far side, gets over to Toman. Toman working inside, jumper from an odd angle. Rebound comes right to number 2 in Tion Spates as he scores, and it'll be 2-0. It'll be Millikin to start off the scoring.
As you highlighted earlier, Carthage got crushed on the rebounds in Decatur against Millikin. And there, an offensive rebound gives them a second chance, and they capitalize.
Tion Spates already with 2 rebounds in this game and 2 points. They go right back to him. He spins inside. That one, I think, was off of the foot of Riley Brooks, so they will inbound that one from the baseline on the kicked ball. But here early on.
And Millikin looking for a bounce back game coming out of their last game Wednesday night against North Park, was just blown out of the gym, lost 99-63, and it was really pretty much over at half in that game. So Millikin looking to bounce back, as I said, is an off night on Wednesday.
As there, a three from Strotter as he's getting going early, making a 5-0 lead for Millikin. As the Firebirds get back onto the offensive end. Nesbitt with the ball now. Gives it off to Johnson. Gives it to his brother A.J. Johnson from Ryan. And a rebound to Spates. So a little bit off here on these first couple of shots. Decent looks for the Firebirds too.
And something that was interesting last time these two teams played, it was a game of runs. Millikin raced to a double-digit lead as they're racing to a lead here. But in that game against Millikin, Carthage was down by double digits, got ahead, was leading near the end of the game, and just couldn't close Millikin out down the stretch.
And now Riley Brooks off a screen, and he's off the mark again. 8-0 run to start this game off for the Millikin Big Blue. As Winkler works his way around one. Good defense by A.J. Johnson. As now it'll be Spates giving it off. Now giving it right back to Spates was Strotter. Back outside to Strotter. 10 seconds left of the shot clock. Looking inside, and he tried to go up with it was Tillman, but a good strip frees that ball up. 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Looks like they're going to call a foul.
Oh, they called the foul. I didn't hear the whistle for the foul, so I thought it was just out of bounds. But
I didn't either. I'm with you. I didn't hear the foul, but I just saw the ref turn and point to the table. Who's that foul on? Looks like AJ.
AJ gets it, yeah. So first foul of the game for the Firebirds. As an 8-0 run to start things off, and offensively they kind of have had their way, have the Big Blue.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do offensively is they hide Tolman in that corner, and he's going to look to make that backdoor cut off of some of those passes. So Griffin Dawn's going to have his hands full trying to keep an eye on Tolman, but there you saw it's hard to stop number 7 in blue as he finishes or gets fouled as he tries to get to the basket.
So Lane Tolman will take his first free throws of the day, the leading scorer on this team, nearly averaging 20 points at 19 points a game. 85% free throw shooter as well, as he makes that first one and makes it 9-0.
Tolman was the CCIW Newcomer of the Year after transferring from Springfield, and he has really made an impact on this conference and has been one of the best this conference has had to offer over his year and a half here.
Dawn almost a little bit out of control, but able to get that one away to Nesbitt. Nesbitt now for wide open A.J. Johnson, and again a little bit long, but Ryan Johnson with the rebound. Giving it off to Riley Brooks. Step back three. That one hits off the front of the rim. A lot of 3-point shots from the Firebirds. Nothing falling for them yet as they're down 10-0 on this 10-0 run. Crossover dribble near side. It comes to Strotter. He jumps inside, and that one a bad pass. Turnover to the Firebirds.
Looks like Strotter would have been better served just going up with it. And Carthage, you're right, all 4 shots from behind the arc and 4 misses here.
Well, there's another one from Brooks, and again, they can't get it. Again, a pretty good look, though.
And something we talked about, Millikin, they will allow those open looks. They're not great at defending the 3-point arc, but Griffin Dawn is great at poking the ball away.
What a steal that he had. Saw that handle was loose, poked it from behind, and now the Firebirds go to work on the offensive end again. Long 3 from A.J. Johnson. Hits the back of the rim and goes right to his brother Ryan Johnson. Finds his brother diving in. Griffin Dawn on the other side. Good dish-off pass to him on the cuts, and they finally get a basket and make it a 10-2 game.
After starting 0 for 6 from behind the arc, they finally get a look there and break the scoring drought to start this game. Was almost 3.5 minutes.
As they now go to work on the offensive end for Big Blue. Almost took a couple too many steps for Tillman. Doesn't get called for anything, though, but he leads out that pass for a 3 on the far side. That one was Ian Winkler. 13-2.
And Winkler coming in their 3rd leading scorer, 11.4 points per game.
Is there a whistle? So I think we're going to See if that goes to the free throw line. And it looks like they will give him 2, so. Or no, it will be a baseline inbound. For a second, it looked like they were setting up for free throws. I was like, I didn't think so. So that one quickly inbounds to the near side to Ryan Johnson. Outside to the cross court to Nesbitt. As he now goes cross court over to the near side. Almost stepped out of bounds there was A.J. Williams, who checked into the game. Nesbitt now on the drive. Fadeaway shot from the near side. As that does not fall, a little bit short on that one, 13-2. That was probably the most ill-advised shot they've taken so far.
Tough look there from Antoine, is really all falling away, but
here goes Griffin Dawn, and he lays that one in. 13-4. He has been active defensively and is really making the difference as far as them just having any points on the board.
Exactly. It's 2 steals already this game, and that's something that number 21 has done his whole career, the senior. Just contributes in all those little areas.
As there, a jumper on the far side from Strotter misses the mark. Riley Brooks quickly up court, going inside to Ryan Johnson, and then he gets fouled. I think it was before he took the shot, so it should be a baseline inbound, but second team foul here. It should be on Millikin. It'll be the first one on Ian Winkler.
Great job from Ryan Johnson running the floor. He gets the rebound, passes it to Riley Brooks, sprints up the floor to get that pass back from him, and creates the opportunity, gets a foul.
As Ryan Johnson will get that inbound pass, give it over to Nesbitt. Antoine Nesbitt picked up his dribble, has to get some help, gets it over to Riley Brooks. Riley Brooks sprinting away, lost it though. I think he might have had a little bit of help on that one, and then a whistle on the far sideline. I think they're just going to call him for a little bit of a push.
That's one of those fouls. Antoine just slowing them down, a take foul.
Not quite the clear path either, so.
No, and I think, like I said, just wanted to get
that,
yeah, just take it, get your defense set up because Big Blue had numbers.
Only the second personal foul, and there's Riley Brooks again on the steal. Oh, but he couldn't hold on to the ball. I like what he tried to do there. He tried to go behind the back to throw it back in bounds. It was really the only option he had. Just could not quite complete it. But he is active in those passing lanes, and he will also get his first little bit of rest.
Yeah, Griffin Dawn. Team's got to know where 21 is on the floor because he can sneak into those passing lanes, take it away. We already saw a back tap to poke the ball away. And now Chris Schlesinger enters, and he's someone that Coach Jurkovic has really leaned on off the bench, can be a really tough physical presence, and he's going to go right at Lane Toman here.
Toman driving into the lane, has 2 players on him, tries to dish that one back outside. Gets it over to Strotter, back to the near side. Toman for a deep 3 off the rim and into the hands of Nesbitt.
Great job there defensively from Schlesinger.
Now Schlesinger goes to work on Toman, making him do some work on the offensive side. Errant pass. He had a wide open corner. Riley Brooks, which is where you like to see him take some of his threes. He's so good at hitting them from over there. The pass was just off the mark.
Yeah, it's a tough pass to make, but you can see why he tried to make it, as Riley Brooks has often found himself alone there in the corner, and Schlesinger's just not able to get the pass he needed.
Good off-ball screen. They tried to get Toman free, but a good job working through it by Schlesinger. As now baseline drive from Anderson goes over to the near side. Back over to Toman as he works and fights through another screen. Now a shot up off the mark from Strotter. Good defense there from A.J. Williams. And now driving in will be Kobe Anderson. It's the back of the rim and a good rebound coming through from Ryan Johnson.
As we said earlier this season, Millikin really took it to him on the rebounding side of things, and right now has a 7-4 advantage.
Oh, almost getting that off of a player by Johnson. Just didn't get the bounce. Probably should have thrown it a little bit harder, but a little bit tough to do when all your momentum's going the other way. Near side, Strotter gets it inside for the driving player in McGrady Noyes. makes it 15-4. It's been tough sledding so far for the Firebirds offense.
Nice slip there from number 8, Noise, as he said, and just even better look there to find him cutting.
Now a 3 on the near side for Brooks, and he has been off the mark so far. Hasn't found himself a basket yet.
As he said, a 2 for 12 on the floor, 0 for 8 from 3 right now for the Firebirds. So we said this is kind of how the game went last time out. Carthage is going to need to find some offense as the dynamic Strotter knocks down his 3, and he was 6 of 10 from the three-point line last game out, and looks like he's continuing that hot shooting so far.
6 points in the game for him so far. A.J. Williams over to Antoine Nesbitt, going down low to Ryan Johnson. Johnson going to work, driving baseline, gets inside, and the basket won't fall, but he will go to the line for 2.
Just determination there from Ryan Johnson, and almost could have got in some trouble. It looked like he got that arm up there, but just defending, able to carve out some space, and that was really just all muscle there from number 10.
Sometimes that's what you need from a player. It's the first one up and good from Ryan Johnson, makes it 18-5. So they start to cut into this lead for Big Blue. Need another one here. Some substitutions coming through. Not quite a wholesale change, but I think it was 3 different players coming in for Big Blue. Chris Ketchum, one of those players. Caden Nichols, another. I'll tell you the third here in a moment, as that one is up and good from Johnson, and it is number 32 in Pat Origliasso. That's a mouthful, that name.
Origliasso, there
Yeah.
you go. He just took a seat as well.
As there, a steal from A.J. Johnson racing down the court as he goes in, gets blocked from behind, but it should stay here. No, they're saying it's Millikin. Thought it was maybe off of one of the Big Blue players, but it was off of, I think it was Griffin Dawn, who checked back into the game.
Carthage has now forced 5 turnovers here already. Just there, you can see they didn't quite be able to capitalize on that one.
Just a good chase down block is really what made that happen, as there, that one gets blocked, and then it should be a jump ball. Schlesinger in there to tie that one up. Possession arrow favored the Firebirds, so they will get the ball.
That was looked like it was going to be an easy bucket, but Schlesinger erases it. Also able to tie it up, get the jump ball, and see if Carthage can find some offense here.
This has been the struggle for them so far. It's just getting things going on the offensive end. As that a deep 3 from Riley Brooks, and he still has not been able to dial it in.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Jurkovic is going to love that shot selection, unless he made it, obviously, but
And now a wide open 3 from Strotter on the other end, and he's missing the mark now too. A good rebound and another tied up ball, but I think they're going to call the foul this time. You're trying to get the jump ball, but Schlesinger doing work, making sure the rebound is on the Firebird side. You know what? That is one thing at least to point out. Rebounding-wise, they're not getting dominated on the boards the way that they were the last time these two teams played.
you're right, as there, that's what Schlesinger is put in there to do, and now Lane Tolman enters for Millikin after a short trip to the bench.
Griffin Dawn getting inside, and his basket doesn't fall, as he now will play tough defense on Ketchum. Ketchum around 1. Near side to Winkler. Winkler, crossover dribble, gets inside, passes it off for a wide open Eli Stipp. This time Stipp is able to get it in, not get it blocked.
Good distribution there from Winkler, able to hang in the air and find the pass.
As this one up and good, A.J. Williams on the near side, finally giving a spark to this team to at least bring it to within 11.
Yeah, they needed that, as they could not find a bucket from behind the arc until the senior A.J. Williams able to get it started, and now offensive foul for Millikin. And after a slow start, see if Carthage can pick up some momentum here.
Yeah, see if they can do that. They're also going to bring Ryan Johnson back in after he got a short break. He goes in for Chris Schlesinger, who spent a decent amount of time out there. Thought he played decently while he was out there, at least on the defensive end.
Yeah, really tough shift there from Schlesinger. Did what he had to do, got some rebounds, blocked a shot. It's exactly what they need from him when he comes off the bench. But where are they going to get this offense going here?
Well, he was ball handling out top. Don't see him do that too often as they work that ball around on the outside. Back down low now to Ryan Johnson. Now delivers it off. Griffin Dawn on the cut.
Great look there from Ryan Johnson. As we highlighted pregame, it's not always Ryan Johnson doing the scoring himself, but when they get it to him, he can find those cutters just like Griffin Dawn.
Jacob Haith back into the game as well. Is there a basket for Big Blue? It would be 8 points now for Winkler as he has been finding some success driving in.
Already close to his season average of 11. He's been involved really early this game.
Haith on the near side gives it off to Ryan Johnson. Johnson getting inside, and he gets that basket to fall. 22-13, lead down to 9.
Nice job there from Ryan Johnson, able to keep his dribble as Lane Toman was flashing there at the double team, but the power of Johnson just able to go right through it.
Winkler over to the near side. Good defense by Griffin Dawn once again. Similar area where he had another steal. A.J. Johnson on the three on the, oh, it hit the backboard and went up and out, so that'll be out of bounds. Tried the transition three, just couldn't get it to fall. The three-pointer's not falling yet for the Firebirds.
Nobody really doing anything offensively besides Griffin Dawn right now. 3 of 4 from the floor. Nobody else has more than a bucket made, as we have Riley Brooks, A.J. Johnson, and Antoine Nesbitt all over this so far this game.
Ketchum driving inside. Good defense, Griffin Dawn. Ketchum gets his own rebound, kicks it out to the near side. Strotter back up top as they will slow things down. 14 seconds on the shot clock as it's Anderson. Near side to Strotter, jump shot from the near side, mid-range, and that one bounces off of a Big Blue player and goes out. I think it might have been Toman who knocked it away.
Great job by Jabe Haith there to get the position. Even though he doesn't come down with the rebound, able to hold off Toman just enough where all Toman can do is knock it out of bounds.
Griffin Dawn up court. Over to A.J. Johnson, looks to drive, lost the handle on his pass, and it goes right into Chris Ketchum's hands as he gives it off to Nate Strotter. Strotter far side, crossing and getting past A.J. Johnson, and he slipped, but he also had a little bit of help to get to the ground there, so that will be a foul. And it looks like it'll go on Dawn, so that'll be the first foul on him. As we hit our first TV timeout here, as it is currently a 22-13 lead for the Carthage Firebirds. As so far, it's been a pretty good start to this half for the side of Millikin.
Exactly. They really came out of the game firing on all cylinders, and seems like Carthage has taken that initial punch from the Big Blue, has slowed things down a little bit, but it's still Millikin doing a great job on the half-court defense, staying in front of their players. The only time they really let someone get through there was Griffin Dawn, as you saw there. And then here it was just Ryan Johnson just muscling through.
Carried that like a running back.
Just put the shoulder down, get that thing over the goal line.
Kind of cupped it like it was a football too. Reminds me of some of the Derrick Rose when he would get into the lane, and he'd kind of do that as well to just muscle his way through. Nate Strotter over at the point, near side, gives it off to Anderson. Anderson starts his dribble, crosses over, gets inside for a moment, picked up his dribble, and there's Griffin Dawn again. Races down, has one player to beat, and does. Griffin Dawn, everything right now for this Firebirds team.
He just keeps picking the pocket of the Big Blue, and where would Carthage be right now in this game without Griffin Dawn? It's been his defense that has sparked the offense, and a 5th steal already this game.
As around one goes Noyes as he will score. easy basket for him. Just a good job getting him free to get into the lane.
And it's rare you see Carthage this far into the game. Only 2 different players have scored with just over 6 minutes to go here in the first half.
See if they can get the offense going here from somebody other than Don, as Ryan Johnson will be the guy. Lowers his shoulder in again, muscles his way in, and gets another basket.
That's his 6th point so far this afternoon, and they've all kind of looked like that. Just the determination of number 10 did not be stopped.
Working that ball around the outside to the near side, they go to Noyes. Noyes just scored on the last one. Passes it outside for 3. Good closeout defense by Antoine Nesbitt. Ends up being an air ball. I thought maybe he got a piece of it.
Kobe Anderson, I was just looking up, shooting just 19% from 3. So I think on the scouting report for the Firebirds, you're going to let him take that and like your chances for the most part.
Over to the far side. Now back to Ryan Johnson. Gives it off to A.J. Johnson as he steps long 2 that would have been as he was inside that 3-point arc. Missed the mark. A.J. Johnson having himself a rough go here. Just can't get that basket to fall.
Exactly. Just 0 for 6 now from the floor. As I said, just 2 players on the score sheet for Carthage right now.
There, another good defense by Griffin Dawn, and you had a 3 bounce over the backboard on one side. Now you have it do it on the other side. So now we'll get some substitutions here too. See who comes in. Schlesinger, one of those players who comes in as he goes onto the court. Antoine Nesbitt out there.
And I'm thinking if you're Millikin, I mean, you've seen Carthage, I mean, not really anything going, but you're only up 7.
Oh, what a way to get inside by Nesbitt, and then he tips back his own rebound.
That looked like the end of the game on Wednesday where Nesbitt just took the ball to the rim, didn't get the bucket on Wednesday as Ryan Johnson cleaned it up for the win, but there gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
Griffin Dawn so active on the defensive end, gets screened off of the player with the ball, now comes over to the far side, wide open Ian Winkler. He has been hot. 11 points for him.
Winkler, yeah, exactly. Been the best offensive player so far for Millikin.
Schlesinger over to Nesbitt. Nesbitt from the far side goes right to Ryan Johnson. Great rebound on the offensive board. 2 offensive rebounds leading to points, and they have cut this lead down to 5 or 6.
I was just saying, Ian Winkler, great offensive player, but does not want to be trying to box out Ryan Johnson there as number 10 just able to pick it up and put it in.
Oh, Winkler with another 3. Makes it now 30-21. Lead back up to 9.
And 14 now for Winkler. Leading the way, and looks like he's shooting with some confidence so far.
As there, Nesbitt can't get that one to fall. A little bit short. They've been short on quite a few of these, actually, for the Firebirds. As they're going to call the foul. I think that's probably going to go on Nesbitt. It'll be his second team foul. Or second personal foul, excuse me. That is the 4th team foul. So not too much trouble yet as far as the fouls are concerned here in this first half, as we are at the 3:24 mark. It's been a pretty quick first half, too.
Yeah, no free throws for the most part, just 2 on each side. Both have been made. Not a lot of fouls, been open, and just for Carthage, not able to hit those shots.
Toman gets double teamed, gets the ball away over to Winkler. Winkler back over to Strotter. Strotter gets the screen. The switch on to Schlesinger, almost slipped here. Now works his way around, and that ball fought for, and that's going to be ball for the Firebirds. Ryan Johnson, the one who made that happen by just managing to hold on for a second and make it a tough one to try and come down with.
It was amazing how Strotter was able to keep his foot there and kind of turn and spin. All of a sudden, he was wide open, and even bigger credit for Ryan Johnson, who, as we said, they struggled on the boards, and number 10 takes up the biggest rebounding load for this team night in and night out.
A.J. Williams with the ball. Now goes over to driving in with Schlesinger as he gets fouled as he goes in. Should be a, let's see if they call, I didn't think he was in the act of shooting, but looks like he's going to the line. So he will go to the line.
Schlesinger, a 58% free throw shooter. So not something that is something you'll look to improve on as he continues going.
That first one up and short from.
And that was something that bit them in the game at Millikin was free throws down the stretch. They missed a couple big ones where they could have extended the lead and put the game to bed, but missed free throws. And there's two, and those come back to bite.
As Toman gets the rebound here. Toman, a quiet night so far, only 2 points. As they get that one off to the near side to Strotter. Strotter driving in, up and under he goes. Can't hold on, can't get that one to fall. Ryan Johnson, another big rebound. Griffin Dawn cutting inside, floats that one, but it hits the front of the rim, a little bit short again. As now driving in defensively. They're going to call, I think, a goaltend here.
Yeah, it was off the backboard first.
I thought he might have gotten it beforehand. Schlesinger was close. He tried, but they'll call the goaltending. Give 2 points over to Toman. That's his 4th point of the game.
And here, an important 2-minute stretch here. If you're Carthage, down 11, you obviously would like to cut into that a little bit before the half, but you just want to end the half strong to really kind of get yourself going here in the second half and see if they can get on top.
Yeah, so I think we'll be shooting here as well, so it'll be Schlesinger again, and I mean, he just missed 2. I think they're okay putting him at the line.
And here's Schlesinger again. Really, when a tough shooting night like Carthage has had so far, I mean, when it feels like nothing's going in from behind the arc, really struggling, just 32% from the field. It seems like these free throws even more important right now.
As Schlesinger hits that first one here, second one is up and rims out as McGrady Noyes gets the rebound for Big Blue. Millikin still in control of this game, 10-point lead. Near side it goes to Toman. Toman gives it off to Anderson. Anderson driving in, looking for Toman there. Defense being played by Jabe Haith. Over to the near side. Haith with some good defense. Toman falls to the floor as they dish it over to the far side. Player who scored those first few points for them in Spates gets blocked and then just trying to keep that ball in bounds here, but should be a turnover. And that will be the ball for the Firebirds.
I was waiting for the shot clock to go off. I think they got reset differently, but the ref's on top of it, and a strong defensive stop there from the Firebirds. But again, you can get all the stops you want, but you need to put some buckets here in on the other side here.
Let's see if they can here. A.J. Williams looking to drive in. Gets past his man, then hesitates, lets him go by, and scores. A minute left here to go in this first half as it comes over to the near side for Kobe Anderson.
Nice, cool, calm drive there from A.J. Williams. Always one of the most stoic players you'll see on the floor, but able to get a needed 2 points there.
As to the near side, they work this ball around. 5 seconds left. Have to take a quick shot. Ends up being rebounded over by the Firebirds, and Haith will take it up slowly. About a 10-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
Carthage has done a nice job on Strotter so far this game. That they held him to just 2 of 9 from the floor, 6 points, making his night difficult so far. Just, again, trying to pick it up on the offensive end.
Ryan Johnson just got it stripped away from him, but I think they're going to call the foul first. Almost was going to be Strotter off to the runway if he was able to get that steal. And I was surprised seeing Ryan Johnson kind of as a ball handler there, kind of playing as a guard outside. You don't see him do that often.
Sometimes they'll do that when they have a kind of a slower, more lumbering defender on Ryan Johnson. They'll try to drag him out and let number 10 go to work. But there, he had Strauder on him, really bothered him. And I think Ryan Johnson fortunate to be able to get bailed out and get to the line.
One word would not describe Strauder is lumbering. That is for
No.
sure. So this should be the last opportunity in the first half. 5 seconds left, over to the far side, and it's off the mark to Toman. He was open there for an opportunity, perhaps.
I think he just got his feet tangled up there and just couldn't get to that pass, because you're right, he was open.
As now just going to try here, Schlesinger got the shot off. Oh, front of the rim. Not a bad chance that he had there. Would have been huge if he hit that one too. They have cut into this lead though. Have the Firebirds. It's 32-25 here at the end of the first half.
I think if you're Carthage, you'll live being down just 7, because that was not their best game that they had going, but we'll see what Coach Jurkovic has to say here.
Yeah, let's send it down to Brea. Lassek, take it away.
Coach, Millikin able to go off on an 18-4 run to start it off. What did you see from your team, both offensively and defensively?
A little flat on both ends, I thought. They're a good basketball team. They're efficient in how they run their offense, and we didn't contest well. We're usually the better three-point shooting team. That's not one of Millikin's strengths, and you look up and they're shooting 55 from 3, and we're shooting 1 of 14 from 3.
One bright spot was Griffin Dunn, 5 steals in that first half. That's already a career high for him. What is he like on defense, and how does he give you guys a chance?
That's what we did. We said on the board our key was to be relentless on the defensive end. He's been doing that for the first 20 minutes. Jabe Haith came in, gave us some great minutes. Same way, relentless. We need all 5 on the floor to do it, though.
What's your message to your team at the half?
Fight. Compete as hard as you can. This is a must-win game for us. Last home game of the regular season, too. We should be coming out with a ton of energy. Atmosphere, energy's great around here. We got to do our part on the floor.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much for that one, Brea, and some very strong words from Coach Jurkovic. And I agree with him on pretty much everything. I mean, they started to get that energy towards the middle of that first half. They just didn't really sustain it. They did close the gap, though, finally here towards the end.
Again, I said, I mean, this game would be look much worse for the Firebirds if it wasn't for some of those 5 steals from Griffin Dunn. And something you saw at the end of that game, or the end of that half there, Riley Brooks took that deep 3. We have not seen him since then. I think Coach Jurkovic trying to make a point there and said, hey, we can't be selling for those. We've got to try to get to the basket.
Trying to send a message here to one of his better players on the team. But we're going to step aside as they have some more honors to do here at Carthage. We'll be back in a little bit.
Michelle and Michael. Hannah is an elementary education major with a dance minor. After Carthage, Hannah hopes to move back home to Milwaukee and become an upper elementary teacher. Congratulations, Hannah Donegan. Our next senior is Hannah Kohler from Kenosha. She is escorted by her parents, Caroline and Jerry. Hannah's a biology major and chemistry minor. After Carthage, Hannah plans to pursue a doctorate in physical therapy. Congratulations, Hannah Kohler. Our next senior is Tessa Mitchell. Tessa is from Chicago, Illinois, and is escorted by her parents, Bridget and Art. Tessa is a mathematics and secondary education major. After Carthage, Tessa hopes to pursue a master's in business administration and become a teacher. Congratulations, Tessa Mitchell. Up next is Rhiannon Montalvo from Katy, Texas, who's escorted by Coach Hannah Carls. Rye is a nursing major. After Carthage, Rye hopes to pass the NCLEX and become a registered nurse working in the labor and delivery unit. Congratulations, Rye. Our next senior is Savannah Ortiz from Lockport, Illinois. She is escorted by her mother, Chorus Ortiz. Savannah is a nursing major and dance minor. After Carthage, Savannah hopes to pass the NCLEX and become a registered nurse working in the intensive care unit. Up next is Leah Oyen from Arlington Heights, Illinois. She is escorted by her parents, Lorianne and John. Leah is a biology major and a business administration minor. After Carthage, Leah will begin her Doctor of Pharmacy program at Roosevelt University this June with plans to pursue a career in the pharmaceutical field. Congratulations, Leah. Up next is Natalie Schroeder from Chicago, Illinois, escorted by her mother, Donna. Natalie is an elementary and special education major. After Carthage, Natalie hopes to become a second or third grade elementary teacher. Congratulations, Natalie. Our next senior is Gianna Taylor. Gianna is from Huntley, Illinois, and is escorted by her parents, Pearl and Matt. Gianna is an educational studies major, and after Carthage, she hopes to earn a master's in education from Carthage and become a teacher. Congratulations, Gianna. Our next senior is Brianna Tremarco from Carroll Stream, Illinois, who is escorted by her parents, Michelle and Joe, and her brother, Joey. Brea is a nursing major who hopes to pass the NCLEX and become a registered nurse working in the neonatal intensive care unit. Congratulations, Bree. Our next senior is Samantha Malcheski from Racine, Wisconsin, who is escorted by her parents, Allison Lewis, and Amy. Sammy is a nursing major and hopes to pass the NCLEX and become a labor and delivery registered nurse. Fans, let's hear it one more time for the Carthage College Class of 2026 Spirit Team. On behalf of Carthage Athletics, we thank you for all your support of our student athletes during your time at Carthage, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And now, fans, please welcome to the court the Carthage College Dance Team.
Got the pep band going here at Tarble Arena. Chris LoBosco here alongside Eric Elger as we get ready for the second half between the Firebirds and Big Blue. Big Blue, the visiting team, with a lead 32-25. As you can see, the scoring leaders for them, Ian Winkler, 14 points, a lot of those, a bunch of threes that he's had in this game so far too, Eric.
Exactly. I mean, 5 of 5 from the floor. And take a look at some of the other players. I mean, we highlighted Nate Strouder. We talked about Lane Toman. You don't even see him on the scoring leaders there, but Ian Winkler has been the one to step up for the Big Blue. And as you said it seemed like Carthage would start to get a little momentum going, try to get cut into the lead, and then it's been him, Winkler, on the other side, knocking down big threes for the Big Blue.
Low scoring first half, though. Nothing that the Firebirds can't come back from. Only a 7-point difference in this game so far. As the teams start to make their way back out from their locker rooms, we will be going down to courtside eventually with Brea Lassek, as she will have the Millikin head coach and Kramer Soderberg in just a little bit. But while we're waiting for that, I mean, the Firebirds offensively, that feels like the biggest issue right now. And we did get to hear a little bit from Coach Jarakovic going into the half about what he wants from his team. And on senior day, he wants more energy. He thinks there should be more energy, and I think that's understandable.
Exactly, and he talks about how, the crowd is one of the biggest crowds he had all season, so the energy in the arena is there.
They're waiting. They're just waiting.
His team has just not been able to match and try to get this crowd to explode and get a thing going. But something we know with Carthage, I mean, you got to believe that, you're not going to shoot 1 for 12 again in the second half. I would bet that doesn't happen again. So see those shots start to fall, and I think the momentum and the feeling of this game will start to flip on its head. Again, if you see, players like A.J. Johnson not hitting shots, players like Riley Brooks, as we said, not hitting shots.
Right.
We see more from them here in the second half.
Anything,
exactly.
Anything. And part of that is because of Coach Soderberg, so we'll go down to Brea. Go ahead, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Coach, your guys were able to go on a 26 run to start the first half. What went well for your team?
Yeah, we executed the plan, okay? That's the most important thing. So offensively, we just ran our offense at a really high level, and then obviously you got to make some shots, and we made some shots early, but the main thing was our execution, our screening, our cutting. That's what led to some good offense early on.
What does your team need to clean up in the second half?
Well, turnovers was the one thing. We had 10 turnovers that I think led to 10 of their points, right? So if you don't turn the ball over, that makes a difference. That's going to help your offense and your defense. So that's the main thing we focused on, was not turning the ball over and then cleaning up the offensive glass on the defensive end. If we do those two things, I feel pretty good about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
And thank you, Brea. That's Brea Lassek, has been doing our work all day today. Got more from her coming here in this second half too, as she's been listening in too on what the coaches have been talking about with their team. So we'll go back to her in a little bit. But we're about ready here in just about a minute and a half for the start of this second half. I think he's right, though, for that side. I mean, if they didn't have the turnovers, they could be blowing out the Firebirds.
It's kind of what we said. I mean, Griffin Dawn, if he wasn't on the floor, this would be a completely different game and would have feel like a disaster of a half. But just the hustle and heart of number 21, who continually is getting those steals, and that leads to those transition buckets. But seems like you talk to Kramer Soderberg, it kind of seems like, hey, everything's going to game plan so far. If we can fix up some of these areas, I mean, you got to believe that, that Millikin really executing at a high level so far.
One thing I wanted to point out, too, is Griffin Dawn, his steals, I want to say like 3 or 4 of them were the exact same type of pass. So one thing I wonder is, when you see somebody jumping a specific type of passing lane, do you fake that pass and go for the back door? Is that something we might see them try and do? That's something we'll keep an eye on if Griffin Dawn keeps gambling on that. But of course, he might not do that again.
Exactly. I mean, you want to try to punish the defensive player if they are going to be so aggressive. But I think what Griffin Dawn does so effectively is that he picks his spots. He's not overly aggressive and getting himself out of bad position, or, chasing something and then all of a sudden the defense is out of rotation. So he does pick his spots really well, but it's just, can Carthage find some flow on offense? And as you see, Riley Brooks back here on the floor, he's going to want to make a difference himself.
By the way, scoring leaders on the side of the Firebirds, it is currently 9 points for Ryan Johnson, 8 for Griffin Dawn. Those are your two leading scorers. A.J. Williams with 5, as those are your top 3 scorers for the Firebirds. Need a little bit more. Need something as well from one of your star players in Griffin Dawn, who has been quiet so far. Riley Brooks. As there, a turnover to start the half. That is definitely going to grind the gears of head coach Kramer Soderberg.
Exactly. He said, hey, let's protect the ball, and what do? 10 seconds into the half, but guess who is lurking right there, number 21.
As you've got the, we talked about going on, is there. Oh, he didn't get to dunk it, but Ryan Johnson with the layup. The swim team just made their way into the building as the student section for the Firebirds cheering on their athletic counterparts here on the basketball team.
It did feel it got a little bit louder here.
As there, a little bit of contact coming through from Antoine Nesbitt with Ian Winkler, so Winkler will go to the line. That's his 3rd personal for Nesbitt. He's probably going to have to go to the bench here for a little bit as he's in foul trouble.
And there was that guy Winkler again, as again, it's kind of been the silencer for the Big Blue.
Lefty misses the first one. As we're getting whistles here. As they will get a substitution, it'll be A.J. Williams who comes into the game.
The nice thing about getting A.J. Williams off the bench is that he kind of carry the torch right from Antoine Nesbitt, a good 3-point shooter and always been a great defender for the Firebirds.
All right. Moving the ball around now as they get that one up to Williams. Now to Dawn. Back to Dawn as he drives in, spins away, fadeaway jumper won't fall, goes to Ryan Johnson, and he gets fouled at going up, so he should go to the line for 2 here. And while we have a moment, let's go down to our sideline reporter and Brea Lassek, as she's been listening in. So Brea, what have you got for us?
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I got the chance to talk to Coach Jurakovic before the half and also listen to their huddle right before they went out for the second half. And it was an impassioned speech for sure. He said, this is your season right here. He said, fight these next 20 minutes. This is the last 20 minutes of your life. That was the message to the team after the half.
Thank you for that one, Brea. And of course, he airballs the second free throw right as she was talking about fight for your life on that one. Although the energy has been at least up here at the start, but they are still trailing by 6 in this game.
Ryan Johnson really wanted to take those free throws back and really put a little bit of a cloud over the crowd here as they were ready to really get it going.
Winkler spins away and scores, makes it now 35-27. Just needs something to really get this crowd into the game as A.J. Johnson goes far side, wide open for the 3, but it won't fall for Riley Brooks. Griffin Dawn with the rebound, and we've got a hurt A.J. Johnson on the floor. So they will stop things here as he's going to have to get checked out. Hopefully he's okay. Didn't see what happened.
I didn't either. We have a pillar right in front of us where he's down, and hope just kind of a thing. Maybe knock the wind out of him, maybe, but it does not look. He's in quite a bit of pain here.
He is in pain. It's tough to tell where they're looking. Might have had a really bad roll of the ankle too, because I think they're looking at his left ankle right now is where they're looking. So
it was off the ball and off the play because, you know, he couldn't even see where that came. Just could be one of those things. You just step on the wrong someone's foot, roll that ankle pretty easy.
He's getting a little bit of help there, but he is walking on his, you know, he's putting pressure on it is the important thing, but he does have a player or a person on either side of him as he walks off. He's going to go back into the locker room, it looks like there, and we'll go down eventually to Brea to get an update on that when we can. But for now, hopefully he's going to be okay. Actually, he's not going back into the locker room, just going over to the trainer bench. Maybe they're just going to tape up that ankle and see if he can keep going.
And with Nesbitt with 3 fouls, that puts even more pressure now on the guards. Because if you can't, AJ Johnson can't go, you're going to have a tough, you got to look to the bench a little bit more than Coach Jurkovic is used to doing.
Chris Schlesinger driving in, gives it off for a deep 2 in there. Finally, Riley Brooks gets off the schneid, gets his first basket of the game, 35-29.
Riley Brooks is a player that once he gets one to fall, many may follow after, as he can be a streaky shooter and can light it up quick.
Toman kicks it out for the player on that near side. Didn't take the 3, was Noyes. As it now gets back to Winkler, as he will take his 3, the lefty missing, as Ryan Johnson couldn't get the rebound there. Spates was there on the inside. Back outside now to Straughter, back to Winkler, fakes the shot. Good defense by Brooks. They switch now. It's Schlesinger on him as they go back over to the far side, and that one off the mark again. Been a tough shooting night from Nate Straughter, and then we get a whistle here. It's that off ball on Millikin, so I mean, ball will stay with the Firebirds at least, but it's a team foul, an early one, and the third one going on McGrady Noyes.
Well, no, what I thought was interesting is Millikin, you see they extend those numbers, because usually you only go to 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As Carthage, you take a look at their uniforms,
Right.
just 11, 21, but to do 8, it looks like you got to put up a 44, but Millikin with a little bit of the unorthodox numbering system, but hopefully Carthage can find something going here. And Riley Brooks trying to find Ryan Johnson, and another turnover, and just seems like they can't get into gear yet this afternoon.
Ian Winkler having trouble crossing the timeline. A.J. Williams playing some tight defense on him. Now it's Nate Straughter. Pass over to the near side for number 10 in Jameer, as he looks to pass it off. Actually, that's 0. It's Chris Ketchum, excuse me, as Ketchum driving in. Pass back outside for Ian Winkler. Winkler with A.J. Williams right on him. Raises up from 3. That one hits off the backboard. Would have been a shot clock violation if it didn't hit the rim, as racing down the court is Schlesinger. Schlesinger picks up his dribble, gives it off for a Ryan Johnson 3. Don't see many of those, as his is off the mark.
Still just one made 3 in the game so far.
As there, getting himself into trouble was Tion Spates. And now Schlesinger fouled as he's running to the other side.
Oh, similar to that Nesbitt foul, I think, in the first half. Just a take foul. Carthage had numbers, so was really getting it going, and foul slows them down. Millikin get set up defensively.
So the rebound, or the inbound play, comes from the far side. That is the third team foul too on them, as a wide open Schlesinger for 3, and his is off the mark. They get one of those to fall. That would really get things going here. Nate Straughter dishes it off inside, as that was Orgil. His name is so hard to say.
Origliasso.
It's Italian. I should be able to say this. My last name ends in a vowel too. As there, the 3 coming from Ryan Johnson.
How about that? You guys give something for the swim and dive team to cheer on there, as Ryan Johnson comes right back after coming up short of the 3. Still confident in his bucket and knocks it down.
Buckets have been tough for both teams, though, as it's only a 5-point game, as now rising from a mid-range jumper that's off the mark for Lane Toman. Chance here to cut into the lead even more. Griffin Don running inside, and he's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2. Can make it a 3-point game.
Great job from Griffin Don. As we said, has been the most important player this afternoon, and those are the kind of opportunities at Carthage, if they can push the pace. You saw Griffin Don gets the rebound. Next thing you know, they're down here on the other end, attacking the basket and getting to the free throw line.
First one up here from Don is good. Makes it 34. Or sorry, makes it a 4-point game, makes it 33 to 37.
Just feels like Carthage just waiting to explode here at Tarble. As soon as they can get this thing tied up and they get even closer, just a one-possession game now.
Very few empty seats here at Tarble Arena for this senior day. Chris Ketchum looking to pass it off inside. A.J. Williams deflected, but it found its way into Strotter's hands. Tough defense by Griffin Dawn. Strotter rises from 3, off the mark. Rebound comes back to the Firebirds. They start to race down court. A.J. Williams to Ox with Schlesinger. Now Schlesinger with the ball. Looking for the pass, gives it to Dawn. Dawn crosses over, back over to Schlesinger, driving in, left hand. He gets the spin. I have no idea how he was able to do that.
I don't think he had that ball going up at all. Just able to roll it into the basket, and now timeout for Millikin as Carthage cuts it to the smallest lead Millikin can, the smallest lead you can have, but it hasn't been this close since the very first minute, and now Carthage just 1 point away from crawling all the way back.
It's been a very good game here so far. 37 to 36, a defensive struggle from both teams as it has been a great time. We're going to go down to the sideline, though, and we'll go down to Brea Lassek. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. Just talking a little bit about senior day here today. Already had it on the women's side. Now 9 seniors for the men honored. And this is a special senior class, Coach said. He said that this is one of his first recruiting classes and has had a lot of winning moments, including a CCIW regular season championship last season. This is a class that has so many names and so many players that make an impact. And also just want to give a shout out to the band cheerleaders and the dance team who all have seniors as well. 17 total for that Spirit side.
Thank you very much, Brea. Appreciate your work there on the sideline. Yeah, it's been we were talking about it. There was a lot of seniors, I think, especially during our first game, which I think was the band. And then now we had the seniors honored here for the dance and the cheerleading team in the second half as we get a replay here.
And this is where I think you'll see after coming back just off the miss, a little pick and roll action, able to stop and pop, and then Schlesinger, as we said, not even sure he was a Houdini act. The ball wasn't in his hands yet. He still gets it up there somehow, and just a 1 point game, and you can feel the energy in this arena right now. It's been building up to trying to get this Firebird team back on top.
Kobe Anderson off now, goes to Chris Ketchum, back over to Anderson. A.J. Williams with some tight defense there. Ketchum behind the back dribble, driving towards the lane, got cut off by Schlesinger. Now on to Toman. Toman and Schlesinger going at it. Over to the far side, it goes to Ketchum, driving in, right hand. Nice job for him to get inside, and it's getting a little chippy down low there. The officials got to get in there and make sure they keep this one clean, as that was a good basket. Should be an end one.
Carthage, really solid defense for the first 25 seconds. It's a strong drive from Chris Ketchum, and I think he let Jabe Haith know what he felt about that drive right to his face.
Nothing resulting for it so far, but I think some warnings were probably coming from the officials there.
I think you are correct. See if Ketchum can cap off the three-point play, but just when Carthage thinks they can get back into this game, maybe get on top, Millikin extends it to 4 points just once again.
Still have yourselves in striking distance, though, now. If you are the Firebirds, is the good thing. A.J. Williams fakes the screen there, gives it off down low to Schlesinger, near side. They were going for Riley Brooks, but there was the foul beforehand. And this one goes on Toman. It's the second team or personal foul on Toman. That's the 5th team foul. So we're getting close to the bonus, and we've still got a half to play.
And that's something Carthage has used a lot this season is getting to the free throw line to close games out and cashing them in.
Nice move and a good pass to get inside for the Firebirds.
Ryan Johnson picking up his second assist.
That was A.J. Williams who was the one who made his way on that cut from Ryan Johnson, finding him. And then we have another foul. This time it'll be the first personal foul, looks like, on Ryan Johnson. So third team foul for the Firebirds here in the second half.
I'm just trying to get a look at A.J. Johnson. The sideline there does not look like he's coming back anytime soon.
As there a turnover by the Big Blue, and give the ball back over to the Firebirds. Yeah, he's been sitting over on that trainer bench and just kind of watching right now. I think it was a really bad ankle roll, and sometimes those can be really, really bad. Could be a sprain. You never know. As now driving into the lane, Haith gets the basket and ties the game up at 40.
That was a nice job by him by not getting a travel there. He almost took that step, but pushes the ball forward, and that's something Haith has done this season, has been a spark plug on the off the bench.
Outside three, air ball by Chris Ketchum. Ball for the Firebirds. And the swimming team lets him know what he did for Chris Ketchum.
I think Jabe Haith thought that was pretty humorous, as well as that was who was in his face after the drive, and an air ball, and the crowd loving, chanting the air ball. See if Carthage finally get their head above and be on top.
Oh, what a pass from Schlesinger, and then the score from Haith. Haith with a man all over him still managed to put that basket in. That pass from Schlesinger was wild.
A spin move pass, and there's your first lead for Carthage. Took till 12 minutes ago, and Millikin not going anywhere.
Answering right back over on that far side, 43-42. Millikin back out in front, but they fought their way back finally for the Firebirds. Had a lead for a moment. The three changes that as we have our first TV timeout here. As this has been an entertaining back and forth game that we've seen from both of these teams.
And after shooting just 35% from the floor in the first half, 64% here in the second. And it's been players like number 20, Jabe Haith, providing some life, some spark off the bench, and 4 big points here in the last few minutes for the Firebirds. And again, every time seems like Carthage gets that momentum going. Millikin just cold on the offensive side. Cold, as I mean by just calm and collected, and just a knockdown three to shush the crowd a little bit. But this is going to be a fun game here down the stretch. Both teams really going at it.
Jabe Haith to the near side to Brooks. Down low to Ryan Johnson. Spins his way inside. Back outside. Brooks from the point. It hits the front of the rim. Rebound to A.J. Williams. And then that's going to be a reach on Strader as Williams goes to the floor. Brooks just still can't find that outside shot.
What's something they've been able to do is, off those misses, they've been getting offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
So even though they're not going in, Carthage still crashing the glass, and they're up to 7 offensive rebounds so far this afternoon.
Drive into the lane, and Haith will get fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Ryan Johnson making sure to hold him too and make sure there's no extracurriculars. Although I think he was just looking for where to go with the ball. He didn't know where the refs were.
Exactly. Haith has just been huge off the bench here.
Really taking the minutes that probably would have been A.J. Johnson's.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Exactly right. That's what I was thinking. He really didn't play a big role in the first half, but with the injury to A.J. Johnson, as we still see sitting on the training table, it's been Haith coming in and putting in the shift here so far in the second half.
5 points for him so far here for Jabe Haith, the junior from Elgin. Misses that second one. He did tie the game up at 43 apiece, though. The juniors have sort of been leading the way here. Players that going to need a lot from, as this is a important senior class, as you heard earlier from Brea Lassek, as she was telling us on the sideline. As they're driving inside and can't get the basket was Tion Spates, but I think they call a foul on the floor. So they're going to call it on Ryan Johnson, and it will be a shooting foul. So he'll go to the line. Will Spates to shoot 2.
Something that's been interesting this game as well is we talked about Lane Toman, 35 points last time these two teams squared off. Here, just 4 points, but he's been contributing in some of those other areas. 6 rebounds, and you saw there, good pass to set up his teammate.
1 point game now after 1 free throw was made. Second one was a miss. Lossinger calling things out to the team as he crosses the timeline, giving it off to Haith. Back up top to Dawn. Griffin Dawn getting the screen from Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson now giving it back off to Haith. Haith from a deep 2, misses the mark. Good rebound on the far side from Noyes as he's back into the game. He's the man with 3 fouls on him for this team. A couple players with 3 fouls on them in this game for the Big Blue. On the far side, finally missing a 3, it feels like for the first time for Winkler, as he was off the mark there.
Carthage lucky miscommunication on defense let the leading scorer this afternoon for the Big Blue wide open.
Speaking of wide open, A.J. Williams for 3. The lead back over for the Firebirds.
And that's the kind of team Carthage has. One of their starters, one of their leaders, A.J. Williams, not able to go right now, but it's been players like Jabe Haith, and right there, A.J. Williams with a big 3 for the Firebirds.
46-44 as we get a replay here of that wide open 3. Just a miscommunication on the switch, and that leaves a wide open A.J. Williams. By the way, while we've got you here, take the next steps in your educational journey with Carthage College. The admissions process is simple. Whether you're an undergraduate, transfer, graduate, or international student, visit carthage.edu/apply for details or contact our admissions team at 800-351-4058 or admissions@carthage.edu. We look forward to welcoming you to the Firebird family. Yeah, it has really been a tale of 2 halves, it kind of feels like, for this team. It stinks that you don't have A.J. Johnson out there with whatever he might be dealing with, but for the side of the Firebirds, having players step up, always big when you have a player go down like that.
Exactly, and it's just been the senior A.J. Williams who has made huge plays and always one of the better defenders the Firebirds have, and he's played a big role in keeping players like Lane Toman down, and again, coming out on this end and just rising up, knocking down a 3. Huge for the Firebirds. Now, can they get that stop here and see if they can extend this lead finally after finally getting to the in front? Can they get a big stop here and see if they can start to take it to this Big Blue team?
Been multiple lead changes in this game now that we've hit this to the time when it finally can be a lead change, where it's been a lead for so long for Millikin. As this comes over to Chris Ketchum. Ketchum driving down the lane, gets blocked off by the help defense. They go back over to the near side to Strotter. Strotter double teamed here. That one rimmed out, didn't want to go in. Oh, Schlesinger taking the ball away, not letting anybody steal it from him after he gets the rebound. A.J. Williams cross court over. Now looking to maybe drive was Haith, instead goes out. Now back in, starts to drive. Now to Ryan Johnson, driving in, goes strong to the rim, but gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
Great take there from Ryan Johnson after Nate Strotter really got a good look on the other end. It's just been that kind of night for him. 2 of 13 now for Nate Strotter, just 6 points. And we said coming in, he is a important offensive player, but Ryan Johnson how many times have we said at this game where he's just put the ball on the floor, as you said, I'm talking about tuck that ball underneath his wing and just going up strong, getting the harm.
Didn't need to tuck that one that time. That time he was just going up strong from the moment that he got in close. As there, another 2 points, 48-44, the biggest lead for the Firebirds, 4 points. We'll see if they can continue to hold on to it as there, that fake. And then the steal on the other end, and it's Haith as he goes in, gets caught from behind, but he will get fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And that's something that Haith, taking a page out of the Griffin Dawn playbook there, that's something that we've seen Haith do quite a bit, is that jump the pass lane and go from defense to offense in a flash. There it almost felt like he was almost too concerned who was behind him. It felt like if you just would have sprinted and tried to lay that ball up quickly.
He would have had a chance, for the end one, but instead, that first one rims out. We'll see if he can get the second one to go for Haith.
Carthage is 9 of 17 from the free throw line.
Marmion Academy is where he went, in Aurora, Illinois. School that has produced a lot of great professional products as well in the NFL. On the far side, that one gets to Toman. Now to the near side for Straughter. Straughter picks up his dribble. Far side to their leading scorer today in Winkler. Winkler picks up his dribble, has A.J. Williams right on him. Finds a man in Anderson. Anderson getting down low. Back outside, Winkler from the corner, 3, and he hits it. Brings the game back to within 1. What a huge 3 from Winkler.
And Winkler trying to draw the foul there, as he is these second half, feels like he's had 3-4 times where he has gone to the ground. Was able to pick up a foul earlier, but there, a stone cold 3 from number 4.
And then a turnover by Griffin Dawn. A.J. Williams, tight defense now on Winkler. Now over to Anderson. Anderson back up top now, goes to Straughter at the point. Gets a screen, fighting through it with Schlesinger is there. Winkler with a man right by him in Williams, but the rebound inside by Tion Spates gives the lead back to Millikin. 8:09 left to go here in the second half, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Jerakovic.
Tion Spates just got too low in the paint, and that got a friendly bounce, and not much Ryan Johnson could do. Is the power of the 6'7", 230-pound senior, Tion Spates. Tough to handle, he's that deep.
Haven't been too many offensive rebounds here in the second half, though, for this Millikin Big Blue team. I mean, they're only, for how badly they out-rebound them last time, it's actually for the offensive rebounds in favor of the Firebirds right now.
Yeah, we said they really got beat up on the glass last game. Just down 3 rebounds here, but it's been players like number 4, Winkler, time and time again, as he has now stretched his scoring to 20 points. And he has been the fulcrum of the offense so far for the Big Blue.
As for the defensive side of the Firebirds, they've had some good defensive plays. I mean, they just had the one earlier by Jabe Haith. A little surprised. I think their offense is still where they're looking for more.
And something we talked about, free throws kind of became a problem in the loss against Millikin, and 9 of 18 from the free throw line. You're wondering, are those going to come back and haunt the Firebirds? Just 50% from the free throw line. You expect Coach Jurakovic, the type of players and shooters that he has, it's a off shooting night from the line.
Have to find points other ways if you're not getting them the way you're used to. Or you got to keep going with what your team does best and just hope that they start to fall. I think it's got to be a combination of both of those things. Schlesinger with the ball now. They fake the screen with Ryan Johnson. He's down low as that one fading away from it was Schlesinger, but Dawn with the rebound. He will go to the line for the end one.
Somehow he always gets to the right spot at the right time and just again and again makes those plays between the margins, getting those offensive rebounds and right up with it as he's now up to 12 points, looking for his 13th.
Trying to make it a 2-point game here, and he completes the 3-point play, 51-49. As over on the far side, Millikin works. They get an open shot for the player who's been the best tonight for them, and Ian Winkler, and he airballs that one. Hasn't had many misses that bad in this game, and Schlesinger, oh, he wasn't quite ready for that pass. Good thing he deflected right to Riley Brooks. Gets to Schlesinger now. Back around, they go to Brooks. Fakes in, passes it back over to Johnson, back over to Schlesinger. Schlesinger driving into the lane, looking for somewhere to go. Riley Brooks for three, off the mark, and that one gets into the hands of Anderson, and he's able to get away. Missed the rim too, so was getting close to a shot clock violation.
You could see that out of the hand that looked off as back-to-back misses now from Winkler. Good defense, making it tough on number 4. It seems like they've really been going through Schlesinger.
As there, another turnover once again. As now they will maybe slow things down as it's Strotter. As he tried to get that pass outside. Oh, Griffin Dawn tried to cut into the lane there. Anderson back outside for Tillman. He misses the mark on his 3. And now slowing things down is Griffin Dawn.
Exactly. I mean, Carthage has been really tough those last 3 defensive possessions. And now they just got to get the reward on the other end here.
Schlesinger back over to Dawn. Dawn going down low to Ryan Johnson. Johnson backing his way in. Outside for Dawn for 3. The rebound for Schlesinger. He goes inside strong and gets the basket.
The refs ain't giving that right now. Schlesinger, too tough, too strong. Sends his defender to the floor and just takes it right up.
Timeout, Millikin Big Blue. 53-49, the lead now for the Firebirds. A 4-point lead, the biggest lead they've had has been 4.
We've talked about Schlesinger. Seems like one of those plays that would thrive in any sport. Seems like a football player out there sometimes, but that strength, and it's been 2 times now, Millikin trying to draw the charge, falling over, refs ain't biting, just too strong, just goes up, look at that, one arm with that. And like I said, he's in the restricted area.
He's in the restricted, there's no chance.
They ain't gonna give you that.
Well, and his feet weren't set either. So he was really asking for a lot to try and get that one as an offensive foul for sure.
Exactly, trying to get bailed out there, but Schlesinger coming up huge here these last few minutes. Now up to just 5 points, but it's been the 3 assists, 6 rebounds, a block, and a steal.
And also, to be fair, though, I want to be fair at least a little bit to Kobe Anderson. 170 pounds at 6'1", going against Schlesinger, who's 6'5", 220. There's a little bit of a difference between those two guys.
Listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't have done the same
exactly,
if I had him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, when you're that mismatch, you're right. I mean,
you got to try. You got to try and do something. That's all you can really do.
Exactly, and again, I've probably been guilty of that back in my playing career, never being quite the tallest guy on the floor. But credit to Schlesinger. I mean, sometimes you can get travel off of something like that. He keeps his feet and just able to go up strong.
This broadcast booth is perfect if they needed average height guys. we fill that bar perfectly. For sure. Far side, the ball goes over to Strotter as he drives in. Back over to the near side, Anderson as he gets inside. He left it short. Good rebound inside by Griffin Dawn as he cut in as he saw that ball get missed.
Yeah, he left that really short. Almost expected more contact. He didn't get it and just caught nothing.
Ryan Johnson driving inside, doesn't get the basket, but the rebound comes out to Dawn. Now to Riley Brooks. Brooks over to the far side, back over to Ryan Johnson they go. Had the smaller Anderson on him, back outside, deep three from Williams, doesn't hit the mark, and then that one off of the hands of number 2 in Spates. It'll stay with the Firebirds.
That came from Ryan Johnson, just tipping it and able to knock it off Spates' hand, and another chance here for the Firebirds.
Driving in is Johnson once again. Kick out over to A.J. Williams. Back over far side, Riley Brooks starts to drive in. Back out to Williams, now to Dawn. Dawn near side, crosses the player over, gets inside, spins, fades, and that one's left short. Good rebound. Toman cut in as he saw that ball was going short.
Yeah, Griffin Dunn saw that he was running out of time in the shot clock, tried to get something off there.
Driving inside was Anderson, and he'll get fouled. So Kobe Anderson will go to the line and shoot 2. 15 foul for the Firebirds. By the way, they're in the double bonus for the Firebirds. Any fouls from here on out that go on Big Blue will be shooting fouls for the Firebirds. And while we have a moment here, let's go to Brea Lassek, who got to listen in on what Millikin was saying there. So Brea, go ahead, tell us what you heard.
Thanks, guys. I had the chance to listen into the Big Blue huddle outside of that timeout, and Coach Soderberg said he's happy with his defense and how they've been able to limit Carthage, but it's on the glass. He said they're hurting us rebounding and on the glass. And since the second half, Carthage has taken the lead in rebounds, 34 to 30.
Thanks for that one, Brea. Speaking of rebounds, there's another one off of the missed free throws. Huge missed free throws that just came through from Millikin.
You heard the crowd erupts because they know they're getting cheese curds now from Culver's.
Always happy to get curds. And there, Riley Brooks finding his second bucket of the night, and it's another mid-range jumper. He's been hitting those at least, hasn't been hitting from outside.
Yeah, credit to him to just change up the game a little bit. Just that three-point shot, just not there, but able to get in the lane and a nice off-balance jumper.
Anderson from that far side. That one takes a funny bounce. Ryan Johnson able to get the rebound, gives it off to Schlesinger. Schlesinger, another one of those guards who's been taking time with no A.J. Johnson as well.
So I was going to say, remember, all of this done without one of the most important players Carthage has, but it's been players like Schlesinger, A.J. Williams, Jabe Haith picking up the slack.
By the way, normally the guy who runs their point really is A.J. Johnson for the most part. Oh, the fake on the shot, and then he missed it for A.J. Williams, but the rebound comes to Ryan Johnson. He goes up right away. He had so much time, and I think that's one that I think if you're Coach Jarakovic, you wish he would have worked that one around. Oh, and Griffin Dawn was about to get a steal, but there was a whistle and a timeout.
What a time to get that timeout in there, because...
And I think Coach Jarakovic is like, the ball was in the air. How is there a timeout? I think he has an argument for that. I don't know. I didn't see when the timeout was called, but that whistle was when the ball was in the air, so maybe he did get it off beforehand. Oh, boy.
What an intense second half here. It's like, just seems like these teams really just going back and forth, and unfortunate for Griffin Dunn, that was going to look like he was going to corral his 6th steal in the game.
That was about to be a show if that one was, if he was able to get that one.
Exactly, and this half, Carthage outscoring the Big Blue 30-17. So I think a lot of the credit to go and how Carthage has jumped out ahead here is just, I mean, holding a team like Millikin to just 17 points here in the half. I mean, you only have 3 minutes to go, and the defense has been so big for the Firebirds after really a slow shooting night from most of the players, but the defense stepping up time and time again.
So just a quick update, by the way, A.J. Johnson has returned to the bench. He is sitting with his left leg and I think probably his ankle in a cooler. So they're probably icing what I'm assuming is probably a really bad sprained ankle would be my guess.
Yeah, you just hope that that's as bad as it is. It's just one of those no further damage, because they're going to need him in the CCIW tournament. Such an important player. The best wishes to him. Hopefully a quick recovery for number 15.
Antoine Nesbitt checking back into this game, by the way. Looks like he came in for Schlesinger. As this one gets into Toman's hands. Drives the lane, gets inside, can't finish, as there was good defense from Griffin Dawn, who now gets it and slows things down again. 2:54 left to go. 6-point game. Oh, right at the timeline. He's got to be careful with where he was stepping for Dawn. That could have been an over and back. Ryan Johnson on the low block on the near side, backing down. Spates playing good defense on him. He gets a shot off, almost got his own rebound. Chris Ketchum came in there to steal it away.
Credit to Spates. I mean, he is a tough to move down low, and Ryan Johnson's been going right at him, but Spates up to the challenge.
Ian Winkler as well back into this game. Over to the near side, Strotter looks to drive in, now gives it back off to Spates. Spates looking cross court. Oh, Griffin Dawn almost with another steal, but it gets into Winkler's hands, and they're going to call the foul there. He's going to shoot three.
And there you have it. Winkler able to get fouled on that jump shot. Something he definitely looks for sometimes.
Yeah, the 5'10 sophomore from Olney, Illinois. Will go to the line, get a chance to shoot three here. Puts that first one up, and it's good.
Winkler, a 79% free throw shooter.
You could kind of see there on the replay, he's kind of coming forward when he shot that one too. I wouldn't say he was looking for the contact, but I don't think he was against getting the contact. So
Well,
just jump into
I'm
the
just saying that
contact,
we've seen it 6 times now at least, where he shoots the ball and I mean, kind of sticks that knee out there, and that's what got clipped by Griffin Dawn, looks like.
Well, he hits and makes this a 55-52 game. So 3 points separating these teams now. Nesbitt up the court. As I think we're going to get a timeout here again. This time it'll be a timeout by Coach Steve Jarakovic, as he will take his timeout here.
And it feels like this game is almost a carbon copy of his last timeout. Millikin jumped out to a huge lead. Carthage spends the rest of the game crawling back. Now here is where Carthage let it slip against Millikin, where they had that lead late. So obviously Coach Jurakovic and the Firebirds hopefully trying to right some of those wrongs that they had at Millikin. And to see a Coach Jurakovic draws up here.
As we'll get to see the replay here. As he goes up, kind of goes forward. Yeah, and definitely doesn't get him in the air. I think they were calling it on when he landed, would be my guess. Because he definitely did not get any contact in the air, for sure.
Good shot by the replay crew there.
Yeah, it really was a good one. So it will be Riley Brooks inbounding the ball here. See what they have set up off the inbound play. As they will get this one into Nesbitt.
A lot of what they like to do with Antoine Nesbitt is have him attack the basket.
Oh, they were looking for this screen for Brooks. Still going to him from long, and he's just missing everything tonight.
0 for 10
yeah,
from 3.
A tough night for him from three-point land. Very uncharacteristic. Noyes gives that one off for the driving Toman, and then the rebound on the far side. I think that was tipped in by Spates. And they're giving those points to Toman, but I don't think that was Toman who was the one who tipped that back in.
I was taking a look at Spates' night, and not huge points on the board, but man, it seems like everything has gone right for Millikin. Number 2's been nearby.
Ryan Johnson gets that one to go, of course, after the whistle, and he was fouled, so he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Now here's you can be really able to tell.
I take that back. It's not Johnson shooting. They're calling that it was a foul that went on to Riley Brooks. Well, this is a good person to put at the line.
I was going to say, you're really going to tell if he is having a off night if he doesn't make these, because he is at the top of the free throw shooting percentage, 86%. As I said, one of the best in the CCIW. So you got to believe 11, even though struggling from the field, if he can just continue to knock down free throws like this, in good shape.
Looks like they're probably, oh yeah, you can see the contact there as the second one up and good from.
And now you go offense, defense here as you swap Brooks for Schlesinger.
Sometimes getting those free throws helps you hit those outside shots too. You see a couple go in. Sometimes that'll help you dial yourself in. Somebody who has been dialed in is Ian Winkler. Gave that ball off to Chris Ketchum. Back over to Winkler now. Switch there. Schlesinger's back into the game. By the way, you're speaking of that offense, defense. That's the player who came in. Give it off to Toman. Toman looking to drive once again. Raises up, and that one floats its way down and in. Makes it a 1-point game with 48 seconds left. They get this one into the near side. Over to Antoine Nesbitt. Nesbitt crosses the timeline. 2 timeouts left here, and Coach Jarakovic is going to use one of them. Tight situation we've got here. Every possession counts.
If you like close basketball games, the Tarble has been your spot these last few games. As we saw, Wednesday came down to the wire. This one feeling like it will as well, obviously. And here is where Coach Jarakovic, when they needed a play offensively, they love to spread it out and let Antoine kind of go to work. And then something they play off it is that they say if Antoine can just get it off the rim, they have the offensive crashers that try and get the board. But there, Lane Toman been quiet all night, just 8 points, but a huge bucket there. Just kind of reminding you that they have a deep, talented offense. It's just been all Winkler for the most part this afternoon.
23 points, the leading scorer in the game in Ian Winkler, who you just mentioned. For the side of the Firebirds, you've got 10 points from Ryan Johnson. You've got 13 points coming from Griffin Dawn and 10 points from A.J. Williams. We also have 5 coming in as well from Chris Schlesinger, who's been doing some work on the defensive end too. Needs some of that here down the stretch, but on the offensive end, one guy, if there's a time for him to show up, it's right now for Riley Brooks.
Exactly. He's the type of player that he's only thinking about his next shot, not worried about the ones that he's missed. And again, one of the best shooters in the CCIW, 0 for 10, 2 of 12 from the field, but 0 of 10 from behind the arc. But you know Carthage and Coach Jarakovic still going to run him around some screens. They like to put him in the corner and see if they collapse on Ryan Johnson. They trust number 10 to make the play.
No, they're going to actually have Ryan Johnson. He does have Spates, the one playing defense on him. They're going to hold this one for a while. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Now they'll run the pick and roll, give it off to the far side, A.J. Williams. Back over to Johnson on the far side. Looks to back his way down. A.J. Williams for 3. He hits it! 60-56. It's a 4-point game. Quickly back up the court goes Ketchum. Back to the far side. They give it off to Strotter, and then the timeout taken by Millikin. 13 seconds left. I'm surprised there was such a long wait for the timeout.
What a shot from A.J. Williams. Sorry, I'm just catching my breath. Just jumped around a little bit there. But after a night where no one seemingly can knock down a 3, the team is 4 of 24 from behind the arc. Who's got 3 of those 4? None other than A.J. Williams. A huge bucket to push this lead to 4, and something you gotta love about number 4. Even though he hits the biggest shot of the game so far, one of the biggest shots of his career, you wouldn't be able to tell it by the look, expression on his face.
A.J. Williams, 3 of 5 from three-point land. He has been the best three-point shooter tonight.
Yeah, rest of the team, 1 of 19 from behind the arc, but the 3 of 5 from A.J. Williams, and man, they've felt like really big threes too, and as I said, none bigger right now than that one.
big thing here, if they shoot three, make sure to not foul, right?
Especially Winkler, you know, that guy is a specialist at getting the three off and trying to get a foul, but exactly. I mean, you want to play as straight up tough as you can. Don't want to give him an easy look, but just about the last thing, the worst thing you can do is to foul the three-point shooter at this point.
By the way, I want to point out, great timeout usage by head coach Steve Jurakovic. He still has one timeout left. If there's trouble inbounding the ball, if they do score, he can use his timeout and reset everything. Looking for the play to come in, almost ran out of time. Right there on the far side, it's Strotter, puts up the three, it's off the mark. Nesbitt with the rebound, over to Williams, and he gets fouled. 5 seconds left to go, and he can put the icing on the cake with a couple free throws.
What a defensive stop there from Carthage. Really came from Griffin Dawn, and the pressure he put on the guy inbounding the ball. It almost felt like they were getting close to a 5-second count.
It was very close, yeah.
And you could tell that Spates just had to get the ball in, and Strotter had nowhere to go, was right on the baseline, a tough shot, but a rebound in here seems appropriate. A.J. Williams coming in and has knocked down some huge shots here in the second half, and see if he can cap off, get this to a 6-point lead with 5 to go.
And he does. Cap that one off. 4 seconds left to go here. Winkler running down the court, takes the three. He hit it at the buzzer. Oh, what a shot to end it, but does not matter. It's a win for the Firebirds, a big one going into the end of the season in the CCIW. They stay atop with, no matter what Illinois Wesleyan does, they are right there with them.
Yeah, we said they felt like they kind of let one slip against Millikin, and here they did just enough of what they had to do to win this game. And you take a look at some of the shooting numbers, and they give you some chills run down your spine, but credit to Carthage that they're able to overcome a tough shooting night, but I think it's the credit goes to some of those players off the bench after A.J. Williams goes down. Jabe Haith had some big buckets, and then none other than A.J. Williams there to cap it off. The biggest shot of the game, that three to go up 4 at the end.
What a way that one finished. We'll be going down to Brea Lassek in just a second, see who she gets for player of the game. But just looking at how this went, oh boy, what a finish. And just to take a quick look here at Wesleyan when they play their next game, which is a 7:15 game tonight. So we'll go down now to the sideline. Brea Lassek with the player of the game.
AJ, you get the bucket to seal it and had some key moments as well. What makes you have a flair for the dramatics?
Man, you know, it's a big night, senior night. Just excited to be out here. We got a great win with the team, and we got to keep it going.
Right before the second half started, Coach said you have to fight for your season right here in this next 20 minutes. What changed in that second half? Man,
we just all realized, you know, this is our senior night, our last home game, our regular season home game, and we want to keep it going. We want to get first place in the conference and have another one and host the tournament.
Like you said, hosting abilities are possible. What does this team have to do in future games to get there?
Keep playing with that same fire that we had tonight, you know, and keep it rolling. Defense is where we really make our name, and that's where we keep it going, and let's go.
Awesome. Thank you, AJ. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brea. She's done a great job for us all day today during this doubleheader. That's Brea Lassek, our sideline reporter for the day. It's been a long day. We had 2 really good games, a pretty dominant win for the women's, and then the men's, a back and forth game. Started off where they trailed for most of it, and then they're finally able to come back, take a lead, and then never give it back.
That's what they did, and they closed the game out really well, and came down to they started making those free throws down the stretch as they were just really struggling all areas of the floor, but big free throws there from A.J. Williams, the big 3, and also credit to the defensive effort from the entire team. I mean, you hold a player who comes in averaging 19.3 points per game. All Tolman got tonight, just 8 points, and then their second leading scorer, Strotter, coming in at 16 points a game. he ends up with just 6. So a huge defensive effort up and down, all over the court for the Firebirds.
Yeah, you can see 25 bench points, something that was absolutely needed for the Firebirds because of the injury to A.J. Johnson. 30 points in the paint, too. That's huge. They limited to the points in the paint from the side of Millikin. Ton of points off of turnovers, which was really more in the first half than the second half. They did get some in the second half, but most of those were in the first half. A bunch of second chance points as well. They were not dominated on the rebounding like they were last time they played.
No, exactly, and those rebounding numbers really evened out, as we said. And in fact, not only did they not lose the rebounding margin by 15, they won by 4. So
right,
and it felt like they were, it's hard to judge different rebounds, but it felt like there were some really tough, scrappy rebounds and a full team effort to put in to really rebound as an entire group, because it took more than just the 11 from Ryan Johnson. You had 9 rebounds from Griffin Dunn, 6 from Schlesinger. So really great team rebounding effort, and they needed every one of them.
Without a doubt. I mean, just looking at all the stats for the game, too, I think one of the big things that they did without in this game is the three-point shooting. Normally this is a high-volume team as far as three-point shooting is concerned, but normally they hit them at a pretty good clip as well. Today, they're shooting for the game 4 of 24. That is a wild stat. And 3 of those 4 were from one man, the guy who was your player of the game, in A.J. Williams.
Exactly. And, I mean, A.J. Williams, it just felt like nobody had anything going. And just Coach Jurkovic continued to cycle through who was getting the looks. And tonight, it was number 4 in white that stepped up. And you heard him say nobody wants to lose on their last game, regular season game at home, senior night, and it was players like him that were determined to make sure that didn't happen this afternoon.
Your leading scorer for the day was Ian Winkler with 26 points. He was a vital part for why Millikin had a lead for a large portion of the game. They did a good job holding Lane Toman only to 8 points. Nate Strotter, who also really burned them last time, held to only 6 points as well. So I think on the defensive end, that has to be pointed out too.
Exactly, just a team effort on defense, and you saw players like Griffin Dawn, who career high 5 steals. All those came in the first half, and we talked about how that first half could have went really differently if it wasn't for Griffin Dawn making some of those plays, because, man, they could not have come out shooting colder than they did, and it was just the number 21 in white that really helped them tread and stay from going too far down. And in the second half, it felt like everything went more towards Carthage's way, and that was the difference on how they came out on top.
Yeah, we'll have Coach Steve Jarakovic here in just a few. As we wait for him, though, give you a couple more stats from this game as well. When you look at it for the side of Millikin, they were 9 of 26 for shooting 3, so they didn't hit the biggest clip in the world, but they did hit a decent amount, hitting 9 in the game, 8 of 12 from the free throw line for the side of Millikin. Only 40%, though, for their shooting percentage. Actually was still slightly better than the field goal percentage on the other side for the Firebirds, which was 38. But because of the out-rebounding, they got a couple extra chances, especially, too, with the turnovers.
And we talked about the free throw numbers. At one point, they were 9 of 18, and they made their last 5 free throws. So they were struggling even from the free throw line, as we said. But when it counted down the stretch at the end of the game, they hit all 5 of those free throws, and that was what really kind of kept Millikin at arm's length. And, again, when they got into that foul trouble, Millikin, I mean, Carthage was able to take advantage of that and hit their throws when they got there.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, by the way, 11 rebounds in the game, so a double-double for him. Had 4 assists in this game as well, so a pretty good game from him overall. I mean, just all across the board. 9 rebounds, too, for Griffin Dawn, and those steals, all the steals he had, obviously making a huge difference, and they were all in the first half.
Yeah, and that was really, like I said, the difference. And just you can see, too, the experience of this Firebird team and the experience that they have to close those games out. As we said, these last 2 games, it really got down to, can you execute when the pressure is on, the game is on the line, and fortunately for Carthage, these last 2 games, they were able to do exactly that.
I think it's always a good indicator if your team can win games when you're not playing the way that you think that they should. But we're going to take a quick break as we await for head coach Steve Jarakovic here, as he should be on his way here soon. All right, as we have Coach Jarakovic making his way up here to do his post-game interview with us. And Coach, I see you got a special guest there with you. Who's that you got there?
Luca will be joining us today, 2 months.
All right. Well, welcome in, Coach. It was a very, very uncharacteristic game for your guys, but I think one of the telltale signs of a team that is great, when you're not playing your best, when you're not playing the way that you normally like to win a game, if you can find other ways to win, that's what your guys did tonight. The guys who normally are the leading scorers weren't necessarily tonight, and guys stepped up, especially with the injury to A.J. Johnson. Hope he's doing okay, but boy, what a great job that you had from everybody stepping in.
We fought. We fought today. I told them in the locker room this was one of the gutsiest wins that probably have been a part of in the last 6 years. And with magnitude of it, final home regular season game, senior day, and have a lot to play for down this stretch. But this bye week could not be coming at a better time for us to kind of get healthy, refocus for this stretch run right now. But all in all, just proud of the guys. Guys really stepped up off the bench today that, traditionally haven't played major minutes. Jabe Haith in the first half defensively. Man, did he make Lane Tolman work for everything in that half. Chris Lessinger is able to switch 1 through 5, was awesome on that end. And, you can't say enough about A.J. Williams, what he's done for this program for the last 3 years. He is the highest character, most low-maintenance player that you have. He's a 4.0 student. He busts his butt. He's the hardest worker. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss a lot of these guys in this class. I told you last week I'll get emotional at this point, but I was so proud of him battling through, stepping up, hitting the shot when you needed it, and he's always a rock defensively. But, man, what a special young man he is, and excited to see what he does when he's done.
So besides it seemed like coming out of the second half, you really guys put in the effort and the energy that you were calling for. Besides that, was there something defensively that you guys made some adjustments, or how did you, we talked about the last time out, Lane Tolman, 35 points against you guys. Was there any strategic differences, or it just came up to guys really stepping up and making the plays?
We preached the last couple days, make somebody outside of Lane Tolman and Strouder beat you. We did that, except for we didn't have to give up 26 points to Winkler, which kind of throws everything off at that point. But our guys followed the scouting report. We did a really good job running the appropriate guys off the line, and their guys stepped into some pretty big shots to keep them in the game late in that. But defensively, our effort was great, our energy. We knew we had 20 minutes and we had to battle if we wanted to stay in this conference race right now. So just proud of this group. I really am.
And the other thing from last game against Millikin is you lost the rebounding battle by 15. Tonight, a complete different story where you guys come out on top, and I think it just plays into the facts that you're saying here. It came kind of down to some guts and some toughness, and the guys stepped up even on that on the glass as well tonight.
Pre-game in halftime speech, same thing on the board. X's and O's will draw them up for you. It means nothing at this point of the year. 22 games in, who wants it more? Who's going to be the tougher basketball team? Who's going to do the little things to grind out a win? Because there's so many games like this. Who's going to win it with the hustle plays? Twan sat a lot of the second half with some foul trouble, gets a huge rebound down the stretch when you needed it to. Guys stepped up when their number was called, and this is it's a fun group. So bittersweet day, like we said, with senior day, but what a fun atmosphere here today. Energy was great. The teams over there that came support us, swim and dive team, shout out to you guys over there too. That was great to have you guys here, and just love the support around here at Carthage.
Yeah, there was barely an empty seat here at Tarble Arena tonight. I mean, looking forward to the next 3 games, obviously there are opponents that are below you in the standings, but just like this team here, you can't look past anyone. What's the focus going into those final 3 games?
We really need to lock in. We do. I think getting a couple days off of this bye week is huge for us. I think we do need to get back healthy a little bit. We've been a little flat this week. I think that's been too much of a theme, and that's my fault, something I have to adjust some of our practice plans. But we said in the locker room at the end, you've been working together for 5.5 months, basically, at this point when you get on the floor next week, and it comes down to 3 games in about 8 days. So don't leave anything for granted. Go out there, fight, and compete like we did in the second half today, and good things will result because of it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you spending your time here because there's obviously more important people to spend the time with, so we won't keep you any longer. Congrats on the win today, and good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we get a little bit of help tonight from Elmhurst as they're taking on Illinois Wesleyan.
We'd like to play more basketball here, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Steve Jarakovic, great interview from him as always. Glad to have his time and a really good game to win that way. I've been told this multiple times from multiple people. Good teams win. Great teams find ways to win when they aren't winning the way they normally do.
Yeah, really. I mean, don't want to classify it as an ugly win, but, not the most pretty win by any means. And how about Coach Jurakovic even calling off Luka Jurakovic off the bench, and he puts in a solid shift there, right there. Yeah, no credit. He's just solid little dude there. And, yeah, exactly. And Coach Jurakovic, I mean, I think you can feel the energy come through him. And I think that's why kids love playing for Steve and this program is that, I mean, you see how hard they fought for him there in the second half, and really it just came down to who wanted it more, and it was Coach Jurakovic and his boys, thankfully and rightfully, came out on top.
You don't forget those first senior classes as a coach either. As somebody who's, I was in college, I coached high school, but I've had a few senior classes myself, and it's always a hard thing, and you always want that season to go on for as long as possible. Hopefully that's the case for the Firebirds here, but still have more regular season games left that they've got to try and win. Of course, those ones are going to be away. But that's about it for us tonight. A great win to stay at least tied with the top, depending on what happens tonight. But that's going to do it here for the executive producer, Mike Love, John Wojnowicz, our producer, director, Jeremy Swatzak, graphics, Owen Haleko, Luke Cosme on replay, our cameras tonight, Mark, Joe, and Addison. We thank you all for everything tonight, as this has been a presentation of the Firebird Broadcast Production and Carthage College Network. We're going to see you next time. That's it here for us. Thanks again. It's a win for Carthage as they stay atop the CCIW.